First of all, thank you both for doing this. I saw you guys in Toronto at the Sony Classics party, but you were very busy, so I was out of the way.
We were partying, we
It was
escaped.
it's very funny. My grandmother is 87 and is June is your biggest fan because there's not a lot of people who can, she can look up to literally anymore. So if there's a fan club, she is president of it. So just
Oh, how lovely. Good.
the rare occasion where she is impressed by what
87,
I'm
she
doing.
was a child.
She's 87 and she drives.
Oh, great.
Not at night. I got to do that. But June, I spoke to you for Nebraska a while ago, but it's so fun to see you literally in anything. But I think the last couple of years in things that are so clearly designed for you to be in, which I think for an actor, one, that's kind of the highest compliment, but also Eleanor the Great especially is a role that really only you can play. It really doesn't exist for anyone else. So
Thank
obviously
you. That's lovely.
it's amazing. But how does it feel when you get sent that, when you realize you're being sent something that is literally for you, as opposed
Well,
to for
for
someone in
me,
your group? Yeah.
I think I pay a little more attention to it, but I have also turned down quite a few that were written for me. So Eleanor the Great and Thelma both were such exceptional scripts that I really want to do them right away.
Oh yeah. And Aaron, obviously, you've been in things people sort of are recognizing like, oh, I know who that is, even if they don't necessarily can say the name but they can spit back the things you've been in. And to be in a movie that is asking you to basically handle 50% of the material and in a lot of ways the heaviest material, it's such an ask that asks you to really be in an emotional place for the entirety of the film. So how do you tackle something like that?
Um, I don't feel like I spent too much time dwelling over things before shooting. The emotional side of things. I also would have to disagree. I think June has such an emotional
Oh,
role in this, and what she does is incredible. I think we both equally had like very emotional scenes, right? Um, but I guess, yeah, I guess I just got stuck in on the day.
yeah.
And I think the environment on set made it so that, we had the space to really get into those headspaces. But then as soon as that scene was shot, the vibes were back up and the energy was back up, and you didn't have time to sort of stay in that headspace.
Hmm. And I think you can tell watching it because I lost my mom a couple of years ago, so I'm very keyed into movies that are doing that. And I think a lot of times you get that, oh, I'm gonna cry, and I don't feel like the movie's earning it. So you're kind of annoyed that the movie's doing it to you because you're like, oh, I don't think I should be. You're not doing this in a way that I find, appropriate. But I think here everything feels so lived in and so real that the reactions, or in some cases the not reactions, are really, I think, realistic and identifiable. So like on multiple levels, I think people watching this movie can attach themselves to an emotion that may not even be what the other characters are going through. I'm sure I showed my grandmother the movie. I'm sure she's identifying as an older Jewish woman watching in a very specific way. I watched it obviously in that, knowing that, but watching it as someone who just lost his mother. And I think it affects you in just the same way. It's kind of an incredible thing when you realize Scarlett's not directed before. Like it's incredible.
For
Yeah.
a first film, it is phenomenal, I think. And I've worked with a lot of first-time directors, but boy, I think she just knocked it out of the ballpark.
And to know when to be silly or when to be serious. I think the handle on tone is so great. And the way to allow Eleanor to be prickly in a way that I think movies don't really think people of a certain age are anymore. You have to either be, in a chair or you have to be wise. You can't like it's sort of so like you can be a jerk and still be old. It's very funny to be like when she's mean
Yeah.
to people, she's just being mean. It's funny because it's funny to watch you do it, but if it happened to you, you'd be kind of bummed that this lady's talking to you this way. And I love that a movie makes space for that.
Yeah, Eleanor's very spicy.
Yeah. But I think that's when you read the script. That was basically written into the script, that she was a woman that had all these emotions within her and she was letting them all out. And I think that plus Scarlett understanding all of that is what was to our advantage, you know, in shooting and all.
Oh yeah, and I think her being a New Yorker, like the movie has a real New York like sense. Like one, I think I know, like I live in Coney Island, so I see my house in the movie, so that's very fun.
Oh, no way.
Oh, really?
It's like the third one in a year that's happened. It's fine. It worked out well for Honora. But it, you know, there's something about actually taking the camera and shooting there, actually having you there, and like obviously there are easier ways to do that than going there and actually being there on the day. But I think you can't really get that feeling in the same way. I mean, you're really looking at Coney Island when you're reacting to it. And
that was the first thing we shot. Was Erin and I had forgotten that, but Scarlett reminded us that yes, that's the first thing we shot was the Coney Island scene.
Which is, I think, perfect to start the movie on because it is such a nice moment that tells you so much about the characters. I think as you guys are first kind of figuring out how it's gonna go, you know, you have it in your head how you want to play the character, but the first time you act opposite each other, you may feel, oh wait, we're doing it completely differently now. But I think seeing it and also having it be such a warm moment is a really great way to kick it off, and also just to be in Coney Island. I mean, I'm bored with it, but everyone else is very excited by it, you know?
Because I lived here for a long time, so I remember Coney Island so well. We used to go out, and I raised a son here, and goodness knows he loved Coney Island.
Oh yeah, no,
it was fun, and it was familiar.
I think that's
Aaron. It was foreign to Aaron.
no, Aaron's like, there's a weird theme park in the middle by the beach. What is this?
Yeah.
And you're correct, it is weird. But I think
it was exciting to learn about and to see.
Oh yeah, for the longest time I'd get my grandfather just like books on Coney Island. It was the easiest thing to buy him and be like, here's a thing about the way it used to be. And and now I'm at the age where I start to be like, I remember when there wasn't that building there. This is weird. I'm becoming a weird, like crabby person about it. But I think what the movie does so well is there's space for that kind of thing. It is everyone who lives in New York in this movie is a New Yorker. And I think movies so easily just have we just need you to walk by. But I think everyone who walks by in this movie walks by like they're a New Yorker. They're in a hurry. They're a little annoyed. Like there's a very good sense of time and place that I don't think you get without someone who lives it and feels that way.
Yeah. And she was raised here, so she had such a history with it.
Oh yeah, no, you can tell that she's enjoying whenever she points the camera at a New York thing. That it's like, oh, I can't believe I'm getting to make this. Again, for like a first project, it's asking such complicated emotions, but doing it in a way that, I mean, I laughed as much as I teared up. There's something about it that when you're on the same vibe and wavelength as a movie, you kind of will go anywhere with it. And I think you make such good advantage of that, of knowing that when you hook an audience member, you can take them on a journey, and where you end up almost doesn't matter as long as you believe the characters end up there, and you kind of feel like you would follow you guys anywhere.
I love
that's
that.
great. That's
so
lovely. Thank you. What a compliment.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I know. I think it's amazing. It's among the best things I've seen either of you do, and done in a way that I think is realistic. I think that's the thing that I think people are surprised about when they see the movie. People expect big, movie developments, and like a lot of things happen in the movie, but I think everything happens in a way based on character, and there are things you don't agree with characters doing in the movie, but you always understand it, and you don't have that, oh, if they just had a conversation, they'd solve the problem. One, there'd be no movie. But also, it's such a movie about people who don't know how to have a conversation about that kind of stuff, and it's building to having a conversation, which is such a thing that movies struggle with. It has to end with a big thing. It can't end with people talking, and I love that the movie ends with people talking.
Yeah, I think it really shows that everybody deals with what they're dealing with in such different ways, and to see it on a screen, I guess you can sort of fall into that frustrated feeling of being like, oh, just talk to each other and figure it out. But I think also that's not necessarily real. I think people do find it hard to open up and talk, and I think our movie shows that.
Oh yeah. I mean, there are going to be just as many people identify with Chiwetel, but I don't want to talk about the thing that's hard. It's a very identifiable way of handling something, in that I'm not handling it. And how that comes out depends, but I think the movie does a great job of like, oh yeah, that can be a viable solution for some. It's not necessarily a long-term solution, but until you talk about why it's important to you, the other people won't know. It's why, just like why talking about it is important. It's
a
kind of,
very human film, I feel, you know, and I think reading the script, you felt that, and I think Scarlett followed it very faithfully in terms of how she saw it. And
oh yeah, no, I can't wait to see the next thing she makes because I just think she has such an eye for
yeah,
projects. Like there's no reason that you can identify why she chose the script beyond I like it and it spoke to me. And if that's the taste she has, I'll follow her anywhere too. So I'm ready.
We'll see the next one.
Oh, I can't wait. And I can't wait to see what you guys are up to. And I listen, it's always a pleasure to see you on screen, to see you developing on screen. It's amazing. So I'm so thrilled we were able to do this.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you. I appreciate
Thank you.
that.
Yes.
Oh, thank you. It's my pleasure.